Hello guys, it's Joshua Hawes. As you can tell by the title of the video, I am doing my review for episodes 5, 6 and 7 of What If. Hello, I'm back. Sorry it's been a while. Basically, my laptop was pretty much screwed for a little bit, so I couldn't do anything for a good few weeks, otherwise, and I felt a bit up to date. I have seen all the episodes though. I'm just gonna give my general thoughts on it. Spoiler review, it says in the title, but I'll say it anyway. So if you've not seen the show, don't wait, watch the episodes first, then come back, or if you don't care, come and join in. So yeah, here are just kind of my thoughts. I'm just gonna give my general thoughts with this. It's 3 episodes, there's a lot of time to deal with. I'm not gonna with the other shows, it's different, the more bigger shows, but for shows like What If, I just want to say what I like, what I don't like, just that kind of stuff. So episode 5, it's called What If Zombies. Zombies in the MCU. Pretty nuts, right? So this is basically the way they tie it in, which is one thing I like about the What If. They do it in a way that how could this realistically happen within the MCU. So basically the way this happens is in Ant-Man and the Wasp film, in this timeline of the film, when they find the Wasp's mother, the place she stayed at for years infected her and turned it into a zombie, and of course she turned Hank Pym into a zombie. They came all the way to they came to Earth, but they came to normal size and zombie apocalypse. And I like the kind of people they've chose kind of for this. They have Bruce Banner, who just comes back from by the end. This is set right at the start of Infinity War, where it's pretty cool. I like that they didn't have the traditional core Avengers be the main superheroes. They had a nice mix of, you had Bruce Banner's Hulk, we had Spider-Man, which, believe it or not, I don't think is actually Tom Holland. The voice actor was really good for this episode. We had Bucky Barnes and the Wakanda guy. There's more. There's Sharon Carter. Those are the ones that kind of stick to mind at the first. Oh, we also had the Wasp. The Wasp. She's important. So yeah, I liked the episode. It kind of also has within itself now apparently the tropes of the traditional tropes of zombie films. One thing that I really liked was the battles between zombie Avengers and normal Avengers. We had a really good battle between Bucky Barnes and Captain America, and when he kills him, the zombie says, "Sorry, pal, I guess this is the end of the line." It's like, jeez, and it also has those messages of hope, and because a character's called Hope, so yeah, they have kind of how you can stay hopeful even in the darkest times. It was an incredibly, I think, it was just a really interesting watch because they did something completely new and completely unique. You had the sacrifices that they really need to anything, which is apparently a trope. Apparently, what Bruce Banner did, who hasn't been in the world on Earth in a while, crash down on Earth to reveal, just find out what's going on. Apparently, that's kind of also a trope of zombie. I haven't watched a lot of zombie related stuff, so I don't know, but it's they've been asleep or gone from Earth for a little while. They wake up or they return. Zombie apocalypse. So yeah, I just found this episode really enjoyable to watch. There is one big flaw I don't like, is that at the end we find out Vision's helping to discover a cure, and they find Ant-Man. He's only able to resurrect his head. And then we also find out shortly after that he's been leading the Vision has been leading people here just so zombie Scarlet Witch can eat them and she can stay alive. She's pretty much leading people to their death. And I can understand. The reason why I don't like that is because I feel like Vision's the kind of person who knows morally that this is wrong and will not do this. I understand this is Wanda, the person he loves. I get that. But in WandaVision, this whole reality she created was keeping him alive, but even he said, you can't do this, this is wrong, so and you have to stop this, and she ended up stopping it. But like, I just don't see why he would. It would be a tough decision for him to make, but I feel like Vision's the kind of person that would still make it. So that's kind of like my only real flaw to this episode. It's just I don't feel like Vision's that was a really Vision thing to do. It's not enough to ruin my thoughts on the episode though. So he takes the Infinity Stone out to find out if you go to Wakanda with their technology and use the Infinity Stone, you can be able to cure people fairly quickly for this. So, but he doesn't. He knows he's done one, but he can't bear to leave it. So he just takes the Infinity Stone off his head. He dies, and they take it over to Wakanda, and that's where the show ends. Or is it because the cliffhanger for this episode is zombie Thanos with the Infinity Stones? So that's kind of where that episode kind of goes on. I enjoyed the episode. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Them trying these new, unique things. The voice actor for Peter Parker or Spider-Man, whatever you want to call him, was really good. It took me like the majority of the episode. I think he heard one thing. I was like, "That's not the actor." The fact that it took me this long to realize it wasn't the actor, which I think is incredibly impressive, and the voice actor did a really good job. So those are kind of my thoughts on episode 5. Let's go to episode 6, and it is like, what if Killmonger rescued Iron Man, which is basically, as we know from Black Panther, he was in the military like 10 odd years around the time of this film, or this timeline where this show is set. So this is going off the timeline if he decided to infiltrate his plan a lot sooner. And how that will kind of work. So it works with him saving Iron Man, bringing him to safety. He gets a working relationship. He deals with his friend who's the villain. And first time I feel he gets that sorted. I can't just say the voice actor for Iron Man in this film was really good. For Tony Stark, it took me a long time to realise that wasn't the actor. He did, I think, a fantastic job as voicing that character of Iron Man. It took me a while to really realise that. I felt like he really did a really good job. And everyone else was voiced by the same kind of person. So I think it was just interesting to see what he did in this. This is not one of my top episodes. My favourite episode, I think, is still episode 4. Episode 5 is probably a close second. I just really enjoyed it. But I feel like this episode was good, but it wasn't as good. It was still enjoyable. I kind of really enjoyed this concept. Killmonger goes on a little time. He goes and kills Iron Man. He goes and kills Don Rodeo or whatever his name is. He kills Black Panther. T'Challa, Black Panther is there. He finds his way to get in the good graces of Wakanda by killing his claw and work with him kind of back in. But of course, that's kind of the plan of that he's still working to fulfill. And randomly, the episode ends with T'Challa's sister coming in with Pepper Potts and like, I know a way we can stop this. And that's where the episode ends. Like, that was completely random. I think that's my only thought for this episode, is that the other episodes, yes, that cliffhanger ended, but the story felt complete. Then the cliffhanger, no, this did not. My phone's gone off. This did not feel like a complete ending. This felt like the start of a story, then ending. Like, it didn't feel like a complete story and a cliffhanger. If you ever wanted to go back and do it again, like, you could probably sort that out within 5 minutes and be like, show recordings, boom. Like, all you had to do was add like an episode 7 to 10 minutes on this episode, probably just 5 or 7 minutes, and you had a complete film. Then just have a little cliffhanger if you ever wanted to go back to that. That's my only flaw, because I felt like the story wasn't complete. So yeah, that's kind of just my main issue. Let's go into episode 7, which, although I think it's one of the weaker episodes, I still had a lot of fun with it. There's just not a lot to really talk about this episode. I had a lot of fun with it. There's just not a lot to talk about. It is what if Thor were an only child. So this is the timeline where Odin, instead of adopting Loki and taking him as his own, took him to back to the Frostdrones as a part of that peace, and Loki lives a life kind of there. So that's kind of like the general gist. And Thor, because he doesn't have that brother to kind of bounce off and make him the person he becomes, he's just a massive party freak. He's what mother's gone on like a holiday or something. He's like, let's have the biggest party ever on Earth. So that's kind of what's happened. Natalie Portman and Darcy, of course, doing the research when they notice this thing come in, which is Thor and his friends for a party. I thought the episode was just a load of fun. It's showing how this party is actually really dangerous, because we find out that Nick Fury got sent to the hospital just because Korg was doing a candle on the ocean and barged him, and he tried to tell him like get away. And now Portman's character and Darcy, they kind of at first weren't really into Barbie, but now they are, especially Natalie Portman, probably because she finds, because of the relationship between Natalie Portman and Thor. And so that's probably why they had no choice but to call in Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel loses the fight because she can't go to full power because there's people around and needs a place that is safe enough for her to do that to truly stop it. The final place, they're about to actually launch missiles. But then no, because meanwhile Natalie Portman's somehow has been found a way to get up to Asgard and tell Thor's mother, hey, your son's in a bit of danger and trouble, can you, as help. And then she gives her a message, she's like, I'm going to Earth soon, you better, it better be nice and that. He realised he's just had this massive party. I really like when we saw Frost Giant, Loki and Thor together, they look like that. It just was a load of fun this episode. So he did that. He used Odin's power to kind of and convince everyone to help him clear up this mess. And then he gets back, and I think he's doing the study he was supposed to do. He's like, we gotta go. Let's call Mjolnir, and Mjolnir's all messed up and everything from the party. So yeah, it was just a load of fun. Then it ends with Natalie Portman's character for agreeing to a date, and then the big cliffhanger, which is something the Watcher didn't even expect. So I think it's probably different things from something from a different multiverse has intervened without the Watcher's knowledge, and thinking that this should not be happening. It is Ultron with all the Infinity Stones. He takes the thing off, and it's Vision's face. I think what's happened here is, if you remember Avengers Age of Ultron, the reason this body was a thing in the first place, because Ultron wanted to use it to transform his body into this, to make him pretty much unstoppable. And so Vision would technically be a bad guy. And Vision would be Ultron. So I think it's the timeline where that succeeded. I think we've only got 2 or 3 episodes left. So, and then I think the episodes end. I think there's only 2 other episodes left, because we're at 7, 8, 9. I think there's only not a lot of episodes yet. So I think what they do is they'll show an episode of what if he retrieves all the Vision retrieves all Infinity Stones. They talk about him taking the Vision's body, grabbing the Infinity Stones, and ends him going into different multiverses, which sets up an episode where the Watcher finally intervenes. Because that's the big part of this episode. The Watcher cannot intervene unless it's trusting every single multiverse as a whole. He will intervene, bring people from different multiverses to team up together to fight and stop Ultron. That's my prediction. Overall, though, I really enjoyed this episode. What If's just a lot of fun, and it's good to keep kind of going. Soon after What If, we still got quite a bit. We've got Eternals coming out in November, and which is the same month the premiere of Hawkeye takes place. We're also getting Spider-Man No Way Home. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out this year. I will definitely do reviews and stuff on that stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, turn notifications to never miss video. Hopefully I'll keep track of these episodes going forward. I hope you all enjoyed, and I see you all in the next one. Bye guys!